So first, let me talk about this dilemma. Whenever someone's down and we're in an arm bar, and I've already sat back, the dilemma is that I want his arm extended and he's trying to keep his hands connected, okay? So while we're here, the thing that I picked up from arm wrestling, which I'll talk about in a sec, is I'm using the end of the lever, the very end of his lever, rather than pulling. One of the common white belt things I see is people will fall back and they'll let their arms extend and fall without them. So what we're trying to avoid here is falling with a huge disconnect between our chest and the grip. So if he goes onto his stomach really quickly, I'll talk about this, and then like lay that way and then face me. So this little trick, right? So we're here, we'll twist a little bit for the camera. We're here, the goal, right? I just talked about the dilemma of the arm bar. The goal of arm wrestling is to try to pin your partner's arm, right? I'm trying to take his hand, the back of his hand down to the mat. He's trying to take the back of my hand down to the mat. So now we both have an objective, but they teach this in arm wrestling. The first goal is not to try to pin your partner. The first goal is to try to take your hand up, cover the knuckles of their hand and attack their wrist rather than fight strength for strength, because if you fight someone bigger than you, you have no shot of winning. So we need to use an advantage, and cheat, we need to use leverage here. So we're gonna climb up the hand. Now when we go to pin each other, go ahead, go to pin, and I'm on the top of his hand, so I'm bending his wrist, I'm attacking his wrist. If I go really low, if I go the opposite, I go really low, and now we go to arm wrestle, he's got me. Why? Because I'm closer to the bottom of the lever. So what I need to do is I need to go to the top of the lever, and now it's an easy pin. So now let's look at this for jiu-jitsu for the arm bar. So once we're here and we're in the arm bar, so look, the elbow is gonna be the bottom of that lever. So if I pull from the elbow, if I'm stronger than him, maybe I can break it. But what I want is cover the knuckles, just like I said for the arm wrestling thing. So I take one hand, I cover the knuckles of the hand I'm attacking. I'm not grabbing the wrist, I cover the knuckles and the fingers, and now I'm gonna pin his hand to my sternum and my chest. I'm gonna reach through and take the inside of my elbow pit, the inside of my elbow. So I cover, and now I reach through and I'm gonna cover my own fingers now. And it's a super easy way to force people's hands apart. Why? Because I'm not pulling near the base of that lever. His arms and his back are super engaged here. I'm gonna attack his wrist by covering his fingers.
And then going elbow deep over my own fingers. From there, I retract my shoulder blades, pulling them backwards and pinning my own elbow to my chest for the finish.
I cover, I go elbow deep over my own fingers, super easy break. Yeah, it's so powerful. Just from drilling this the other day, my wrists still hurt because I showed it to 3 classes. So this is with the S grip, I just cover and I go elbow deep. If he goes gable grip, go palm to palm, and then take this one on bottom, so it's hidden. Yeah, when they do this, I just go underneath, I cover, and I go elbow.
Continuing on the rear naked choke defense, as they have their hand tucked into their bicep, I'm going to move here a little bit to adjust. While they're here, I'm going to take the top arm, I'm going to pull it out of the way, and I want to see the fingertips on the bottom arm that I'm attacking. Now that I moved it out of the way, I see the fingertips, we collect and we cover the knuckles, and then we cover our own knuckles with our elbow. Again, I'm not grabbing individual fingers, we're going to be nice here. I'm just going to squeeze their whole hand, grabbing all their fingers. I don't want to injure my training partner, not the wrist. I grab all the fingers together, the very end of the lever. Don't hurt your partner though, but grab all the fingers and then cover your own knuckles with the inside of your own elbow. Okay, so showing them all again, here we have the S grip. I can see his hand, I cover the knuckles, and then I cover my own knuckles with the inside of my elbow. On the gable, I grab underneath, covering his knuckles, inside of my elbow, same thing. And on the rear naked choke one, I peel the top hand out, I cover the knuckles, cover the fingers, and then my elbow covers. Another option here is pulling the elbows together. I pull his arms together and it exposes the fingers. Now I grab, now we can fall back and we have our arm bar.
I took it from watching arm wrestling videos, but that's because their goal is to attack the wrist. By pulling on the top of the hand, they bend the wrist, and now the rest of the arm becomes weak, and we have easy arm bars. So anytime you are good at getting to arm bars and you're struggling finishing, just remember, you cover the fingers and the knuckles, and then you take your own elbow over your own knuckles, and then you just hip in and you have easy arm bar finishes. Thanks, guys.